Hey everyone, Argonaut here from The Right Way, and another protest happening in New Zealand against the COVID restrictions that are happening in New Zealand. So if you're not in New Zealand, if you don't know, we're still parts of the country in lockdown still, even though we've got pretty massively high vaccination rates. The government is too scared to start opening up, and people are pretty pissed off. So let's have a read of this article, what happened. So thousands descend on Parliament in protest of COVID restrictions. The Wellington CBD came to a standstill this morning as thousands of protesters descended on Parliament in a challenge to COVID restrictions. Although some protesters breached the first set of gates to Parliament and others hurled abuse and tennis balls at reporters. Yes! Get those friggin' reporters, because they're all left-wing biased reporters. The protest was described as peaceful. Addressing media this afternoon, Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern said the crowds in the demonstrations did not represent the majority of New Zealanders. Well, you can bet this Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern that there will be many more people that either couldn't go to it or didn't even know that was on, but still agree with what the protesters are doing. It's not going to be like 50%, 60% support or anything, but it's not a small, insignificant minority of people, Jacinda Ardern, and it's only going to grow. And we can see through your bullshit. We need to free up Auckland and free up the rest of New Zealand, because you're not going to stop the virus becoming endemic. They keep going on about this, right? People have had a chance to be vaccinated. If they haven't been vaccinated by now, then that's their decision. Let them live with it. Let the rest of us live our lives. Um, Organised by the Freedoms and Rights Coalition, the group marched to Parliament to present its demands, which included an end to COVID restrictions and vaccine mandates. Again, I encourage people to get vaccinated, but it should be your choice. If you don't want to get it, then I don't think you should be forced to get it. I have no problem interacting with unvaccinated people because I am double vaccinated myself, and I know that I will be protected from the virus if I do catch it, and the symptoms will be quite less severe. So I have no problems with people that don't want to get it vaccinated. I don't know why the government should either. Protest organisers said they wanted New Zealand to learn to live with the virus, calling for Auckland borders to be opened, the whole country to move to alert level 1, and an end to no jab, no job vaccine mandates. So the idiocy of this particular government is they want Aucklanders to be able to leave Auckland for Christmas holidays in December, but they only want vaccinated people to be able to leave. So we've got this hard border of our highways that'll leave out of Auckland, and how would you check everyone's vaccine status? You have to stop every single car, pull it over, get everyone, pull out the papers, go through and check all the papers, make sure the IDs are correct. How long would it take to check a car full of people? Right? You're just going to get massive lines of people trying to get out of the Auckland to go to their holiday places. And so the idiotic government came up with it was just an idea to think about, was that, oh, we would give people a chance to book a time slot to leave the city. Can you believe how idiotic this government is? Yes, you got to book just as good as booking an MIQ slot, right? We all know how wonderful the MIQ system in New Zealand is. Actually, it's a piece of shit. So we can just imagine what their book a time slot to leave Auckland system will be like. It'll be absolute dog shit as well. Just ridiculous. This government is hopeless. They have no ideas. They have no forward thinking. They should have been thinking about this a long time ago. They just need to open the borders up and let people go. You cannot stop the virus. We've got hundreds of cases every day in Auckland and other places in New Zealand as well. It's going to happen. You can't stop it. Anti-lockdown protests also blocked State Highway 1 at Auckland's northern border, causing delays for motorists. Those in the crowds in Wellington include young and old and a diverse mix of ethnicities. Protest signs range from anti-vaccine to Trump 2020 alongside Tino Rangitinotanga and United Tribes flags. So there's a massive cross-section of New Zealanders, not all white people that are anti-vaxxers or anything. There's, if we look at the photos down here, where's some photos? Here we go. So we've got some kind of European looking people. There's some Maori people, people from other ethnicities. You can see the Maori flag here. This is the United Tribes flag. I think there's another picture. Here's another picture. You got the New Zealand flag, got the US flag. Good on you, US. You always fight for liberty and stuff. So there's lots of people from different ethnicities, people that are just sick of being stuck, locked away in a jail by this idiotic government. I will do all that. So protests gathering at Parliament earlier today include a group of about 30 who travelled down from Whakatane. Among them were teachers and even a principal, all opposed to vaccine mandate of education staff. It requires all teachers to have a first dose by November 15. Don't get the vaccine, you're out of a job. One of the protesters, a special needs teacher of over 20 years experience, said she is prepared to leave her job rather than be vaccinated, along with many others. She said about 2,000 people have travelled from Whakatane to the wider region for today's protest. The woman, who refused to give her name, said she was concerned about COVID-19 but didn't trust the vaccine nor the government. Of course you wouldn't trust this idiotic Labour government, because they've broken so many promises. They can't keep any promises. They don't actually know how to do anything, because they're all left-wing academics who've never really worked a real job. Oh, sorry, hand on heart, I can't say they've never worked a real job. Jacinda Ardern, Prime Minister, did have a job in a fish and chip shop. So yes, she did have a real job. She worked in a fish and chip shop. So she's got amazing experience to lead the country, obviously. ACT Party David Seymour said the government had antagonised people such as some of the protesters outside by issuing vaccine mandates. Seymour said he hoped as many people as possible get vaccinated, but people should still be given choices. Of course, they should be given choices of what they do to their bodies. I don't fear for these people, I fear for them, because obviously they're unvaccinated. So yeah, just goes on to talk more about that. So let me know what you think. Are you on the side of the protesters? I'm firmly on the side of the protesters. You should be allowed to protest, and we need to end these restrictions. People's lives are being destroyed. People's businesses are being destroyed. Mental health is being destroyed in this country. There's no talk about that by the government or any of the so-called health experts. All they're focused on is COVID-19. That's all they can see. They can't see all the other medical procedures that are not happening, because they're not deemed important enough for them to carry on during lockdowns and so on. So let me know what you think. If you're on the side of the protesters, if you're not on the side of the protesters, I'd love to hear your comments. We'll see your comments in the video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, you're welcome to give it a thumbs down. And if you like my content, please subscribe, as it just allows the YouTube algorithm to notice my content easier. Anyway, that's it for this video. Hopefully I will catch you in the next video.